Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of Pointing to the Cross. And I want to talk to you for just a minute about true freedom, what true freedom really is. And in the book of John, Jesus made this statement that the truth shall set you free. And the Pharisees really didn't know how to handle that. And Jesus told them, listen, if you've sinned one time, then you are a slave to sin. And the Bible tells us elsewhere that we're dead, spiritually speaking, before we are saved. And therefore, we are being brought to new life. It's the new birth. It is a new life. God's not taking something and improving it. A plastic surgeon can do that. God is creating life where life wasn't, spiritual life. And in John chapter 11, and verse 44, if you'll remember this story, Lazarus had gotten sick and passed away, and Jesus purposely waited until he had already died and was in the grave several days. And then he came to Lazarus' aid. And he raised Lazarus from the dead, which is a picture of the believer who has been raised from the dead spiritually and brought into a new life. And Jesus made this statement in verse 44. John's speaking, and he says, "And he who had died," speaking of Lazarus, "came out, bound hand and foot with the grave clothes, and his face was wrapped with a cloth. And Jesus said to him, Loose him and let him go." And let me tell you, when God saves us, when we accept Jesus Christ as our Savior, then we have been freed from the bondage and the slavery of sin. So therefore, whom Jesus sets free is free indeed. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Pointing to the Cross.